Hey yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy AceoxReacts, and I'm back with another reaction. This time I'm going to react to 5 German police standards American police refuse to use by James Bray. Yes, we are back once again with another reaction to one of James Bray's videos. This one is quite new, so I'm gonna hold back with releasing the reaction until it hits the 2-week-old mark. But yeah, so I saw this title and I thought, okay, German police standards versus the American ones, or rather the ones the American police refuse to use. It got me quite intrigued, because I can't really think of anything except de-escalation, which is something German police are trained mainly for. You know, de-escalating the situation, while American police are more, I think, focused on eliminating the threat, usually by use of force. But yeah, that's how I see it. I don't know if it is that case, but it definitely seems like it. So yeah, this trailer got me intrigued. It's only 8 minutes long, so I'm gonna try and not make this a 2-hour long video like I always do by yapping on endlessly way too fucking long about stuff no one cares about. But before we start, I saw something in this video description. It says just an American trying to learn more about, and there's a thing that kind of my autism brain picked out for me. It says more about and Germany and the rest of Europe. Damn! That's the things I pick up on, but everything else that's pretty obvious, I'm blind to that shit, so yeah. Alright, so before we get into it, like always, go into the video description, click the first link in the video description under the credits tab to get to the original video by James Bray. Leave him a like, leave him a comment, tell him, FBI, open up, knock, 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 open up, please, thank you. How dare you talk shit about us American police officers? Hashtag not cool. Hashtag 911. What's your emergency? Tell him that. And obviously subscribe to him. He is a cool dude and he talks about my country. And that's cool. That's cool. I like it. I love it. Hell yeah. Alright, so let me zoom out real quick. There we go. Alright, so without further ado, finally, here we go!
German police are actually trained to shoot to incapacitate, not to kill.
Yeah. That too, yeah.
Why are you driving in my country?
What the fuck?
Why are you driving if you're not paying attention to the speed limit? 70. It's 70 miles an hour, then why are you going 98?
A developing story. Police and a canine unit take down a suspect, and it's all caught on camera.
Yeah, Gigi Garcia has more on this and the dramatic video. Gigi.
And dramatic is a great word, Bob, to describe the video. It was a dramatic end to a dramatic and extremely dangerous pursuit. Take a look.
With the current state of affairs in today's society, I thought it'd be pretty interesting to cover a topic that I've been very passionate about for a while.
The editing, holy shit.
American cop standards versus German cop standards. And yep, you heard that right. How cops in Germany deal with situations versus the good old USA. I mean, we know how they deal with situations. Whether it's training.
Damn, I didn't think about it, but if he keeps showing videos like that, I might not be able to upload it, because I don't know, YouTube seems to sometimes allow stuff like that and sometimes doesn't, so it's like a gamble every now and then. So I did not think about it. I hope he doesn't show any more graphic stuff than that, because yeah. If that's the case, then I'm not gonna upload the reaction just to be safe. It's because I don't want to risk it so early in my channel's history to get the long hard dick of YouTube jammed down my throat. The first thing I just realized is that the editing in this video is really cool. That it's a lot more dynamic than usual, than the stuff we've seen so far by him. But yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. And about German and American police, yeah, I definitely know that the police in America, they seem to be so trigger happy. And I heard that they have quite a short training period, which I don't know why you would do that. I think those that, you know, that make sure that the law is followed and obeyed and bring justice to those that break it, I think they should be properly trained, you know. And in Germany, I know there's a lengthy period where you're in training before you can, you know, be a police officer and do all that good police stuff you probably want to do if you want to become a police officer in the first place. Yeah. So I hope we don't see any dead people. I mean, with body cam footage, it's like a 50-50 chance, you know. But yeah, that's the differences I know. But he seems to have 5 things picked out for us, so I don't know what else he's gonna mention, but I'm excited. So let's continue.
Or how they did with the public, it's pretty obvious that there's some pretty striking contrasts. So sit back.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's get into it.
All right. Personally, I know I just unpaused and I'm pausing again, but I don't care. Personally, I like the police vehicles in America a lot more. They look a lot more stylish, a lot cooler. But I definitely gotta give props to the German police because their vehicles are hard to miss. Very hard to miss, impossible to miss. I'd even dare say, while the American police cars, I mean, at night they just drive on a road or something. I don't know if you could recognize them, but I imagine it's quite hard, especially if it's dark outside, and with the design. Yeah. So that's definitely props to the German police that they chose these ugly ass colors, these ugly bright colors, so everyone knows, oh shit, it's the police. Damn, better drive slow. But yeah, I like the aesthetically, the American designs for the police vehicles are more pleasing to my eye. That's all I want to say. Yeah, I hope you didn't expect me to give any deep insight as to which is better, because I'm A6. I say pee pee poo poo and then jerk off. That's all I do. I cannot come up with a thesis as to why something is objectively better than something else, especially when it comes to designs. So if you expected me to do that, then fuck you. Fuck you.
Number 1, training standards. That's
what I
talk about. So
that's what I thought he was going to talk about.
13 to 21 weeks at a police academy, and that's it. Some departments might tack on a few more months of field training, but ultimately, unfortunately, that's pretty much it. So
damn, that's really short.
Germany, becoming a police officer is more like getting a degree. Their training lasts 2 to 3 years. Okay. Yep, years. And yeah, they cover a lot. Law, psychology, sociology, communication skills.
And I think it's the correct way to do that, because if you can become a police officer, you know, easily, quickly, then there's also not much holding you back from doing some shit that's going to cost you your job. And if it's, you know, if you spend like 3 years learning all that shit just to throw it away, you're gonna think twice about that. That's what I'm trying to say. You're gonna think twice about fucking breaking the law and risking your job and shit like that just to live out your weird ass power fantasy. So yeah, that's definitely a plus for the long training period, in my opinion. And also, obviously, it goes quite in depth. And I think, you know, as a police officer, you should know all that shit in great detail. I mean, it's your job to make sure people obey the law and shit like that. So obviously, you should know the law in and out, in my opinion. So, and I'm pretty sure you cannot learn every goddamn nuance and detail and everything about the law in just a couple weeks, you know? So, yeah, I don't really understand why American police have such short training periods. It explains a lot. Let's just say it explains a lot concerning their behavior and everything.
You name it. That all being said, they basically come out being mini lawyers by the time they're done with their training. So this explains the calm demeanor when, you know, they approach most situations in Europe. So naturally, this response is probably why they're seen as more reserved and level-headed in 99% of their situations. I mean, I got to experience some of that myself.
And also, like I said, they're trained to de-escalate.
Berlin or Hamburg, the cops were chilling. They're like, hey, as long as you're not breaking any laws, we're not gonna do nothing to you. But in America, if you so much as blink the wrong way, you might be turned into a 6x6 inch design on a t-shirt. Okay.
Damn.
As you can imagine, in the US with shorter training, officers have to rely on more of their instincts and on-the-job training, which definitely creates a little bit of problems when it comes to high pressure situations, as we've seen in the distant past and the very recent past. This leads into a very important aspect of the training: use of force and weapons. In the US, police are heavily armed. Even your regular beat cop,
even I know that.
have a pistol, taser, baton. I think you get the idea. And SWAT teams, have you seen the teams? They look like they're ready.
They're decked out.
Okay, and
they're ready.
Treat streamers, especially when it comes to doxing and swatting.
They're clearing rooms. What in the world? I think we're getting swatted.
Oh yeah, I saw that clip a long time ago. So fucked up, man.
I think we're getting swatted. What in the world?
He was pretty chill, considering, you know, that it is a really dangerous and serious situation. I probably wouldn't have been able to be that calm throughout.
Non-lethal methods are prioritized. For instance, water cannons are still a thing for crowd control. Now ask me what the method is for crowd control in America. Oh, and get this. German police are actually trained to shoot to incapacitate, not to kill. Okay. In the US, the philosophy...
trained to do that, but it's not always possible. Yeah, they're definitely trained to do that, but they're not always doing that. Is the easiest way I can think of putting it. Yeah.
Shoot to neutralize the threat. And in that case, they aim for the center mass. And with that being said, you already know how the majority of those situations turn out to be. It's an entirely huge difference in mindset between the two different countries. So with that being...
But then also, again, shooting anywhere, getting hit by a bullet anywhere can be deadly. So, you know, if you shoot someone in the leg, there are a lot of those, I don't know what you call them, the veins, the strong ones. The ones that once they're punctured, they're gonna shoot out blood like a goddamn geyser of blood. And there are also some in your arms, I think, and especially, you know, on your neck and stuff like that. So there isn't really a safe spot to shoot someone, but yeah, still, I mean, if you aim for the head, the person surviving is pretty much zero. There are some very rare instances, but yeah, obviously they have a higher chance of surviving if you shoot them anywhere else and miss their arteries. There we go, arteries, that's the word. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. But yeah, shooting, sure, you can go all the way and aim for the head. That way it's a pretty much guaranteed death sentence. Or you can try shoot somewhere else, but anywhere can be deadly, is what I'm trying to say. So it doesn't really make a huge difference where you aim, especially if you empty your entire goddamn clip. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. So
instead, let's get into this next point because it is very important as it pertains to what we just talked about, and that happens to be interaction with the public. In the U.S., there's this protect and serve motto, but there's this heavy focus on authority. Cops expect compliance, and things will escalate if they don't get it.
Yeah, they're on some serious power trips.
Approaches with his gun drawn. Then things turn really
Jesus Christ, man.
Put your hands behind your back. The officer tries in vain to get hand.
I don't know. You know, seeing stuff like that just... I think it looks like from a country where the dictator is ruling. That's what it looks like, you know, very oppressive. You follow my orders to a T or you're gonna fucking die. You know, that kind of attitude. And that's insane to think that it's coming from America, you know? You'd expect that stuff in, I don't know, North Korea, for example, right? You know, in North Korea and stuff like that, it's kind of, it's really weird. It's really fucking weird to see this stuff happening in America, but it's been happening all the time, so it's nothing new. It's just, you know, now we get to see it through the body cam and everything. But yeah, I don't get that. It's definitely not akin to what they claim they do, which they say protect and serve, but it's it's neither protect nor serve. It's fucking oppressing, with getting oppressed by goddamn cops with some seriously fragile egos that are on a complete power trip. It's crazy, fucking crazy, man.
In Germany, as you can imagine, the vibe is very different. Police tend to be more formal and less confrontational. For example, during high-stakes situations like drug traffic stop, German police officers remain very calm to control the situation, which is honestly admirable.
I mean, I never heard a cop yelling.
They get turned into a firing range in a heartbeat. In the US, even
a cop yelling in Germany, I mean, you know, in the American body cam footage of officers, they yell a lot. It seems like it's rather rare they don't yell, it seems. While in Germany, I have yet to see, with my own 2 eyes and my own 2 ears, hear or experience a cop screaming or shouting at someone. I'm trying to think, but I can't think of an example of when I experienced that from a German cop. They're very calm and collected and almost cold. Not almost, definitely cold. Very cold. That's why I don't like interacting with them. No one does, but I especially don't like it because, I don't know, they're very intimidating, to say the least, because their behavior is just so, I don't know, so atypical of what you'd expect from another human being. They seem more like, I don't know, machines. Kind of spooky.
Minor traffic stop like running a red light can feel tense for everybody and warrants a very crazy response from the officer and makes the pedestrian feel like they are in fear for their life, which is why we get
that's insane, man.
Where the pedestrians in America are like, hey, whoa, don't kill me. I broke a minor law, but it doesn't mean that I need to lose my life over it. And here's a very interesting tidbit.
Insane, man.
Police officers are trained to de-escalate situations.
Yeah, that's why I said.
Unlike America, where it's more so optional, depending on the department. Different departments in America
definitely seems that way.
Different levels of de-escalation, but unanimously it's been agreed upon that de-escalation has not been a priority in police departments, unfortunately.
Which sucks, because, I mean, we're the best example of how it works. It works good. It works great.
Situations, like this. That actually leads into another point.
Alright, so, you might have seen a cut here. I definitely cannot show that. I'm not going to risk it. He showed footage of police brutality, of them recently punching a guy that was already down and restrained, but yeah, I can't show that, and I don't want to show that. That's I get, that this is reality, but I don't want to show that sort of stuff. I hope those police officers get fucked by the law, but I know how it is, and they're not gonna get fucked by it at all. They're probably just gonna go on paid leave and that's it. But yeah, let's continue.
That's very important, which is accountability and oversight. In Germany, as you can imagine, there's a lot of oversight. Misconduct, it gets investigated pretty thoroughly. German cops know that their actions will be heavily scrutinized.
Yeah,
they typically keep things in check. In the US, police accountability varies by state and the department. That's very important. Sure, there's internal affairs, but external oversight isn't as strong in some areas. Plus, with police unions, it can be kind of tough to discipline police officers. And the lack of consistency has obviously sparked some very, very interesting debates. So there you have it. American and German police operate very differently. Germany focuses more on long-term training, restraint, and accountability, while the US emphasizes more quick training, assertiveness, and a more militaristic approach. At the end of the day,
that's what I just thought. It seems more like, to me, like you train someone from a military. If there's a war breaking out, you don't have 3 years time to train people. You gotta make it quick and make it count. And it seems like the police training in America is more akin to that rather than police training the way it should be, in my opinion, which should be thorough. It should be long. It should make you think twice whether or not you wanna abuse your power or not as a cop, stuff like that. But yeah, it just mentioned that it's very militaristic. Is that the word? And I agree. Yeah, that was my thought. To pushing out as many soldiers as quickly as possible. That sort of stuff,
Systems have their pros and cons. Germany's method fosters more trust, but it might struggle in high crime areas like, Frankfurt.
Yeah.
The US system handles...
In Berlin, they just ignore drug dealers. They just let them do that stuff.
Mitigating tension in minor situations, if you know what I mean. And that creates tension with the public, which is how we got into this conversation in the first place. So, what do you think? Do you think the US should adopt some of Germany's principles when it comes to the police department, maybe in training, de-escalation, things of the sort? Or should Germany loosen up a little bit and treat the dangerous situations a little bit more intensely? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Stay safe, and thanks for hanging out. See you soon.
Alright, so what I think is, I think we can learn from both, you know, by taking the good stuff that works and leaving out the bad stuff that doesn't work and creating this combination of those two, you know, like a hybrid thing. I think that's the way to go. In America, I personally think they should just split up the police force, you know, and then give them different types of training. So you don't have those trigger happy cops working as, you know, for example, in traffic stops or stuff like that. Cause I don't know, I feel like it makes 9 out of 10 times their attitude is the reason why things escalate to the degree they do in most cases in America. So yeah, I think they should just split up the police force and give them different types of training, you know. And in Germany, I think, yeah, we need to be more strict, especially when it comes to like I said, like I mentioned in Berlin, in the park, they pretty much ignore the drug dealers and let them do their thing because they gave up at this point, or the family clans and stuff like that. I think personally, when it comes to stuff like that, the high crime areas in Germany, they should be a little more strict, you know, a lot, or not just a little, a lot more stricter. And also personally, I think for those that came here to seek asylum, if they break the law, they shouldn't just, you know, ignore that shit. They should just, I don't know, send them back. Because if they come here and break the law, then I think they have no right to stay here. But just saying that nowadays can get you into trouble, so I should probably just shut the fuck up. But yeah, I just think if you come here and seek asylum and you know, obey the law, then I have nothing against you. But if you come here and then break the law, then obviously I have something against you. And I think police should be more strict in that regard as well. So yeah, I think the American police can learn something from the German police, and the German police could learn something from the American police. Yes. I mean, let me know what you think as well. So this has been the video. Like always, go into the video description, click the first link in the video description under the credits tab to get to the original video by James Bray. Leave him a like, leave him a comment, tell him best of both worlds, combine them, and you get the best. Not just the best of both worlds. It's the best. Is this sound the police? Tell him that. And subscribe to him. He obviously deserves it. And in my comment section down below, tell me what you want me to react to next. But try to make it specific, and maybe a title or stuff like that. So, you know, if it's about a topic I'm unfamiliar with, I know what to look for. Because if you don't tell me, I don't know what's good and what isn't. Alright, or I can pick out something myself, like I've been doing most of the time on this channel, which works by me randomly finding some videos that may or may not be interesting, and just put them on my watch later playlist and then react to it. Yeah, so let me know, and either way, I'm happy to oblige. And with that, we're done for the day. Yeah, this has been the Small Penis Man. Small Penis Man out. I wish I could call a police officer a penis. But technically, I could get in trouble for doing that. That's something I wish I could do. I want to call a cop a penis. I haven't had good interactions with police. At least they didn't beat me up or anything, so that's a plus, right? That's a plus at least. But yeah, cops, I don't like him. I don't like him in America. I don't like him in Germany. I don't like him anywhere. Cops are shit. I don't like him. Fuck you. Who the fuck decides that you get to be better than us? Be above the law and shit? Fuck you, man. Fucking cops. Who knocked on my door? Is it the police? Oh no, they're coming for me. Get to the chopper now. Yeah. Bye.